Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the army of Snarkness. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by my normal co-hosts sitting across from me at the desk. I don't know how he got there. And put him down. Whatever you're doing, put the leg down. We have the man, the myth, the monster, the trio. How's it going, guys?
We're insulted because you called us normal.
You're one of my normal co-hosts.
I am not normal. I am clearly a very special person.
He's a minority. Are you oppressing
Oppressed,
him
in
already?
fact. You are. What the fuck?
Can we
haven't even begun!
Can we get through the introductions before you start calling me humanarchy trash?
Could we get through the introduction without you oppressing me?
And sitting on my left. If you thought Death rode a white horse, you'd be wrong. She actually drives a Shelby. Plays a mean guitar, and she's here to, well, reap whatever souls that come across. The fourth rider of the apocalypse, Death. How's it going, Sarah?
Going quite well. How are you?
I'm doing good. You guys have something for me, right? You said you got something. I'm a little eager.
You should be doing better than good. We got you those ridiculous plans for the teleporter, and
Do you have any idea what a pain in the ass that shit was?
I told you there were two different buildings.
I killed 27 people in the wrong building. I'm not complaining.
The only good thing that came out of that, other than the fact that we got your plans, is that later Shade had to lick the blood off of me.
And I want you to know how incredibly lovely that moment was.
Look, whatever you two do behind closed doors is up to you. That sounds just absolutely gross.
Although I do have a quick question for you, Sarah. Why was there so much blood on your legs?
A convenient blood spatter.
Look, you two write your weird Twilight fanfiction later. Where's the
Twilight fanfiction?
Where are the
You
blueprints?
should really watch what you're saying now, buddy.
I'm gonna throw them in the garbage disposal for that comment.
Twilight. Fucking get rid of the goddamn plans. Fucking Barco Sparkle Bag. Fucking vampire bitches wannabe motherfuckers.
Can I have the blueprints, please?
I'll think about it.
When you fucking apologize.
Why am I going to apologize?
Call me a fucking Twilight Sparkle faggot vampire.
I didn't say you were part of them. I said you were writing a Twilight fanfiction. There's a difference.
I've decided that I'm gonna fuck up your shit again.
What else is new?
I already jizzed in your fucking sheets.
Oh.
Not my sheets.
They are now, because they're on your bed.
Oh.
Well, let's say hello to the chat, shall we?
Fuck you, chat!
Or not. How's it going, everyone? We got Razriel here. Kadant, how's it going, Kadantris? Tyro's here. And let's see, who else? Ali's here. Anybody else want to say hello?
Hello, everybody.
So, all right. What exactly happened? Like I said, there were two different buildings, right?
Yes.
You went into one,
It was heavily armed.
so that was the one that had the blueprints.
No, it wasn't.
Why was it heavily armed? How's it going, Chris?
It was heavily armed because that's where the prototype was.
Oh, did you get the prototype too?
No, we destroyed it.
What? Why?
We couldn't transport it.
Did you forget the part where the prototype is like 20 feet across and made of 5-inch thick metal?
Don't you have super strength or something?
What do you think I am, you fucking donkey?
They were.
I mean, you are a jackass, but I mean, come on.
Oh, that was low-hanging fruit, you little bitch.
You hung it out there. I took it.
Besides,
Yeah,
it was
you
an
can take things to hang.
accident. One of the guards' bodies and some electrical malfunctions. It got very explodey.
Explodey.
Yes.
But you got the plans.
Yes.
Good.
They were in the other very heavily armed building.
Well, you two came off without a scratch, so it should be fine. Look, I'm sorry I couldn't join you. I was doing something else.
He was probably jerking himself the fuck off.
Sitting
that
in a
didn't happen.
booth. Moxley probably trapped him again.
Oh, Moxley probably go down on him again. My little blow me.
So, did you get a chance to look at them?
Yes.
I mean, is this a real thing? It's not just a they made a prototype. Did it work?
I don't know. I mean, everything got explodey. We didn't test it out. And the blueprints look like blueprints.
So, I mean, well, while you guys were away, since Kadant has to say something, I did happen to throw kind of a party. This rapper, Snoop Dogg, was there. There was a bunch of strippers. It was quite fun.
Why?
Because I became the champion of a wrestling organization.
So let me see if I get this straight. We were out risking our unlives.
Differently alive. Differently alives.
Our differently alives.
Yep.
Sorry, Zach. For your ridiculous teleporter that Sparky is probably going to blow up a couple of times trying to get it to work. And you were throwing a party?
Well, it was kind of thrown for me. It was kind of impromptu, actually. You see, Moxley has he's a promoter.
You sound very defensive.
Well, I am going to be defending the championship, but I mean,
it somehow smells like weakness in here all of a sudden. Does anybody else smell that? Like
thank you very much, Pedantris. I was so happy that you were there. I mean, Shade and Sarah were off doing the Twilight blood licking party. I was actually having fun. So, I mean, it was. I was mingling with the other people that are starting to become very popular henchmen.
Hello, Anubis. Well, next time you can go and steal your own stupid plans.
I have payment for you.
Uh-huh.
So, you did the job that you get paid for. That was the deal. And then you also get paid for doing this.
Money still hasn't hit my bank account. Has it hit yours yet, Zach?
I haven't seen a single dollar, and neither have the others. I checked.
Maybe you should check again.
Oh, really? All right, fine then. No, I'm still broke, bitch.
No, I wasn't calling you a henchman, Cadantris. I was talking about Moxley. Look, I will have payment sent to you. I will find out what's wrong. You guys still accept universal credits, right?
Yes, I set up a bank account locally.
Okay, so there you go. So, while I'm doing
I've been
that...
reconsidering. Perhaps precious metals would be better. It does transfer between universes.
You want precious metals?
It does transfer between universes.
What kind of precious metals?
Platinum, gold.
Platinum and gold. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I will see what
they don't have any value.
I will see what I can do. What about you, Trio? What do you want?
Blood.
Oh, God. Of course.
What? Does this surprise you?
Was that even a question?
I was just hoping that he was going to actually say something. Fine, I will...
I'll also accept human cattle.
Oh, that's easy enough. I can do that.
Yeah, but they have to not try to run away all the time. That gets really aggravating.
So just give them something to drink.
No, I'm thinking collars.
You want collars?
The kind that explode if they get too far from the home base.
You've been watching Suicide Squad again, haven't you?
No, I've been playing Fallout.
Oh. I can talk to Sparky about creating the collars.
You should do less talking to Sparky and more ordering around of Sparky.
Well, I don't know if he's actually able to create
He's
them.
a robot. He can do it. And you can just...
All right. And
you should make good on this one instead of having somebody else do it next time, like you did with my pirate ship.
I You haven't brought on the guest. The pirate ship was given to you by someone else completely.
You're right, because you never were given me in the first place. We all know this. Stop trying to dissimulate.
To be fair, he did only promise the hat.
On the bright side, my pirate ship is currently in orbit over your hideout.
That's
By the way, do I get to go up
What?
and see it?
Of course you do.
Excellent.
In fact, unless Antoine shapes up shortly, you'll be scheduled to go there next week. Antoine
why
will
am I
not be
the one that
scheduled
has
to
to
go
shape up?
there. Antoine will not be scheduled to go there. He'll be scheduled to stay in the hideout, which I am conveniently targeting with our cannons.
There are schedules for visiting your ship?
Yeah, because I like you.
Ah, thank you.
Otherwise, you blow up with the hideout.
No, that's really inconvenient.
Not really. There's a hideout on the ship. The ship is a hideout, clearly. Orbital pirate ship, cloaking devices. Completely untraceable by most systems, except our own, of course. I mean, it's pretty well done.
You
Also,
do
I
understand
Antoine
that
proved all the
if you blow
cybernetics
something-
inside.
You blow something up, you will draw attention.
Yes, but they can't actually find me because I'll be long gone by then.
He does have a point.
Mm-hmm. I know I do. It's why I did it.
All right. Look, I will see about getting you the collars. How many people do you want?
At least 25.
25!
I have a lot of eating to do.
Oh, God.
Also,
20
I like variety. So if we get a couple of Asians, a couple of blacks, a couple of whites, some Spanish people, some Native Americans, possibly some Australian Aboriginals, some Lebanese. Lebanese food is good.
Zach, I have a wonderful idea. Why don't you set up a Tinder trap, just like the Thot did, who tricked 2,000 men into coming for a date?
Oh no,
How
that was the
stupid.
worst attempted feeding ever.
How stupid are the men in this universe?
Apparently pretty stupid.
That was the worst attempt at getting lunch ever.
So I came across this in my in the after party. Someone was talking about it, and it's rather annoying actually, because I know for a fact if this was done to women, the man who did it would be crucified, if not just straight out lambasted. So basically, the woman that you see is the same woman. I don't know if you heard. I don't know if it happened on your guys' world, but the woman had a video of 10 hours of walking through New York while being catcalled. She had 10 hours of footage, and she only got 10 minutes of actual catcalling. And it wasn't even like good catcalling. It was, "Hi, how are you? Have a nice day." Things like that. So this bitch decided she was going to trick 2,000 men into a date over 2.5, 3 years. Like setting this up. Having people... What?
Wait. Let me see if I get this straight. This bitch wasted 10 hours to get a fraction of actual problems.
Oh, and she was praised for it too.
And then decided to emotionally... What's the correct word for this? Sucker punch a bunch of guys over 2 to 3 years. That is a level of malicious that really quite impressive.
It's very impressive. The problem is she's still a cunt.
By what standard is it impressive?
The fact that she was able to accomplish it.
And
But why is that impressive?
the fact that she put that much effort into it.
I don't get it.
Most people have the attention span of a goldfish on speed.
Oh, I know that.
What do you mean most people?
My roommate Ishtar has a memory like that. Attention span of a goldfish.
So
Wait
the
a
fact
minute.
that she was able to focus and carry out her plan over the course of 2 to 3 years. That's impressive, Zach.
You guys think that's a person?
That is a person.
Yes, that is
That's
a
a Toreador vampire.
There are no Toreadors on my world.
No, I am guaranteeing that one is. Obsession with making things perfect, long-term plans that end up really badly for them, trying their best to get things through beauty and appeal to arts, and trying to feed as many people as possible all at the same time, usually through
Hello,
orgies.
Moxley.
That's a Toreador vampire.
Well, let me just read this real quick, if you don't mind.
It says right here, I was duped into Toreador Hottie's massive marketing stunt. Toreador Hottie dupes dozens of dopes. They fucking know about it on this world. Somebody broke the masquerade in a big fucking way.
It doesn't say Toreador, it says Tinder.
That says Toreador.
No, Zach, it doesn't, darling.
It doesn't matter. Clearly, she's a vampire. Did you not watch the video?
She's out in
Where she uses a shitty attempt at dominating presence to try and get them all to pay attention? People were leaving when she told them to leave! I did watch the video after all. It was pretty silly. As far as vampires go, she's really bad at her job. Her sire taught her nothing.
She's not a Toreador.
You know, you keep telling me that, which makes me wonder if you yourself are a vampire. This would make a lot more sense.
I am not a vampire.
Are you certain about that?
I'm positive I'm not a vampire.
Okay, well, I'm positive she is.
Only fools are positive.
Alright, no, only Sith yell in absolutes. And clearly we're dark side over here, motherfucker. That's a vampire, if I ever saw one. And I've seen several, occasionally in the mirror.
Cinder Shadow says the mall cav only sees what he wants to.
That's true, but my madness warps reality into being what I want it to be. Or did you forget that?
Dementation.
It's always working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you mind if I read some of this? We do have people in the chat that are interested.
Are they really?
They're pretending.
Oh, that's probably correct.
The model who duped hundreds of dudes into showing up for a phony Tinder date in Union Square refused to apologize Thursday, and, big surprise, painted herself as the victim. She causes the problems. She dupes people for years, and she's the victim. Sure. I'm taking all the hits right now, like balls to the face. Instagram model and actress Natasha Aponte whined on ABC's Good Morning America.
Hey, that article doesn't say balls to the face at all. I'm looking.
That was my own little addition to it.
Oh, you're trying to make it yours. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Why do I even try?
It's a good question.
It's funny because all of the negative that I'm getting from these guys, they, quote unquote, are still in my inboxes trying to date me.
All 2,000?
Apparently all 2,000.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Perhaps her powers of dominating presence are better than I thought they were.
Aponte made headlines this week after inviting dozens of dudes. Dozens! No, it was 2,000.
Dozens.
Dudes to the park on Sunday, only to blindside them by revealing they were all there for the same date and would have to compete for her affection. You know, like white knights of old. I'm surprised someone didn't just bring her a handkerchief.
My lady.
I'm sorry. But unless you are the heir to a very lucrative fortune or a country someplace, or I don't know, the goddess Aphrodite come down from heaven, nobody needs to be competing for you.
Aphrodite comes down from Olympus, not heaven.
It's a type of heaven. Do you want me to bring the other deity here?
No.
Are you sure?
You know Aphrodite.
I do.
I mean, I'm sure we can arrange something.
Her wife would hurt you, but that's fine.
I could hurt them both, and they'd enjoy it.
This has gotten really awkward really quickly. I'm beginning to feel uncomfortable with your human desires.
She and Hephaestus did divorced after many, many years. It was good for them.
Turning most away for arbitrary reasons like having a beard or being named Jimmy and putting the rest through physical challenges. This bitch is a thought. Oh my god.
Okay, we don't actually have that phrase where I'm from.
Thought,
every time
that hoe
someone
over
says-
there.
Ah, all right.
Be gone, Thot!
Yes.
All right.
That's what it means, that hoe over there. And she is definitely a hoe.
Although, technically speaking, I have read lately that if you use the word thought repeatedly like you've just done, that may in fact make you what they call an incel. Which apparently means involuntary celibate, implying that no matter what you do, you can't actually get laid. And I would like to remind you that since you were having a party after groping a bunch of other men into victory, while one of my other personalities is having wild, crazy, kinky blood sex with Sarah, I think we know who the incel is here.
Ali says, well, how else is a girl going to figure out who is the best guy for them?
How about actually going on a fucking date and not luring 2,000 men to compete in physical challenges like it's fucking Double Dare?
Kadant already covered at least half of that.
Oh, God. All right. The brunette finally explained what it was all about Thursday as she and viral video marketeer Rob Bliss released their footage of the ruse, saying it was a social experiment. Isn't it always a social experiment when shit goes wrong, when it's taken the wrong way? Oh, we were just socially experimenting with the people and seeing how it would go.
I think the last valid social experiment happened in some college somewhere, I think here in America, where they basically turned everyone into socialist commies.
Hello, Drake.
How's it going?
That's called college life now.
No, there was actually an experiment that a professor created in order to see just how far it would go. When he realized it was getting out of hand, he canceled the experiment, told the students what was going on, and some of them freaked. It actually caused lasting trauma, if I remember correctly, for some of the students.
See, now that's a fucking thought experiment.
Well, that's kind of, well, not like that hoe over there experiment, but close enough.
No, thought as in, a thought, not... God, that
Are you still an incel?
No, I'm not an incel.
Because it kind of sounds like it.
Anyway. Saying it was a social experiment to highlight the problem with online dating. So, she duped thousands of men for 3 years to show the problems with online dating. That's a level of sadistic I don't even think Shade could accomplish.
I don't think you know what Shade's capable of doing.
Does he have that much time on his hands? Because not only did this wasn't just her.
What part of Immortal Vampire do you not understand?
He doesn't seem like he has that much.
It's not a question of time, it's a question of patience. If Shade's going to go kill somebody, he's going to go kill somebody. He's not going to wait 2.5 years to do it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. This was sadistic. Because not only... They set it up to where there were people overseas that were pretending to be her, keeping these men on the line. Yeah, it's kind of become socially acceptable to disqualify people and say oh my god, this is how she actually talks. You have to be X height, you have to work X job. Bliss, who also created the famous quote unquote footage of a woman being catcalled while walking through New York, is because it was famously bad. We should be mad about this. They are mad about it, you fucking hoe.
They're mad because you lied to them, you idiot.
So, their resulting video, titled The Tinder Trap, shows how they set up the scam. They paid overseas workers to flirt on Natasha's behalf with 7,500 men and spent 2 years planning. Then how the event played out. 2 years, 7,500 men. Let's reverse this, shall we? Let's reverse it. Say a man did this to 7,500 women. What do you think the response would be?
He would be... Having him drawn and quartered would probably be the most merciful thing that you could possibly do to a man who did something like that. Because everyone else is going to tear him apart.
I was going to say, do you think that he would be able to get away with saying, oh, it was just a social experiment? I was trying to show all of these women, all 7,500 women over 2 years, how horrible online dating is.
No, I think he would definitely kill something. Be dead. He'd be very, very dead. I would be collecting his soul in pieces, dead.
What do you think, Drake?
I'm sorry, I zoned out like 15 minutes ago. What?
If the situation was...
I know what you're talking about. And I think it would depend on whether or not he made it public like this woman did.
I'm saying that the exact same thing happened, just reverse the sexes.
Well, I think it would depend on who the man was. Is he somebody famous? Is he well known?
No, it's just some Tinder model.
Then he'd probably be crucified. I mean, I'm not sure what you're trying to get at here. You've already made your point.
I'm trying to get your perspective on it.
Yeah, we don't really do online dating.
What? Oh my goodness.
The last time I dated was before online.
You know, that would be a good way of luring in the idiots that you could feed from.
That's very true. Do we need to set up a Tinder? No, we don't need to set up a Tinder profile for Trio. We need to set up a Grindr profile. That'll get enough thirsty men coming for him.
Wrong gender.
No, I spoke correctly. Anyway.
I think later on this evening, I'm going to let Shade rape you in the ass.
See, this is why he has to set up a Grindr profile.
It'll just be for you.
No, I'm good. Gonna be talking to Aphrodite.
No.
Anyway, at one point, wait, where was I? Most of the men look confused or bemused, but at least a handful participate in the bizarre competition. Why? Why would they debase themselves? Are they that fucking thirsty for this bitch's attention?
The answer to that is incredibly complex, psychological, in-depth study that can be summed up by saying, yes, they are in fact that thirsty. I don't know why you're surprised by this.
I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. Why would someone... What's the term? There's plenty of fish in the sea?
Apparently not fish that are biting on their hook.
Well, I think what y'all are missing is the innate sense of competition that most men automatically have.
True.
Now, not everyone's going to be interested in participating because people have a better thing to do with their day, but some guys came out there and said, no, you know what? I want to win. And so they tried to win.
So it says, at one point, as Aponte interviews potential suitors, one unwitting participant grabs her microphone. Excuse me, this shit you just did right here pulled a stunt on all these men who had stuff to do. It's fucked up. You know, it's fucked up. He yells and cheers from the crowd. Which I agree. And I'm glad someone called her out on it, because otherwise she'd just go through with thinking she did the right thing. In a voiceover, Aponte concludes that his anger at being set up for a viral video stunt proves that Tinder is bad. How? How does it prove that Tinder is bad when you used the app for nefarious purposes?
It just shows that people are gullible.
That doesn't mean Tinder's bad.
No, I didn't say it did. I said that it proves people are gullible.
Let's see. Just because someone doesn't check off every box on what we find attractive doesn't mean they aren't. It's absurd. Oh, so this is a body image thing too.
Well, there goes that tick.
Yes. Isn't it, to judge people by such petty things as if they like to wear khakis? No one should wear khakis. It's like wearing white after Labor Day. It's
We'll have
just
to agree
something.
to disagree on that one.
She says over footage of the mic grabber and the other men complaining to a police officer. It wasn't a police officer, it was security. We know that. Look how angry this makes people. Really? People got angry because you duped them, because you lied for 2 years. I wonder why they're angry. Whatever. This stupid bullshit is, it just goes to show why I want to do the things that I want to do.
What happened in your world to lower the intelligence levels so drastically?
Colleges started teaching socialism.
Was there something in the water that inspired this? Was there a chemical attack? Something
no.
had to inspire the colleges. Something had to
No.
go wrong.
Because the pervasive thought of no one's actually tried the correct version of socialism before, and we're going to do it right. You know, same thing they say about communism. And yes, Obama got elected.
I think before I finally tire of your realm, I will start the apocalypse just to clean house.
Well, I mean, if you must.
If you're hoping that I'm going to spare you, probably going to be disappointed.
Then there's no real reason for me to pay you if you're going to just kill me at the end of this.
Sure there is. Service is rendered. We have a bargain.
There's also an excellent chance that when she does take your soul, she doesn't do it all at once. I mean, let's be honest here. Would you rather experience a long period of suffering before she finally decides to snuff out your existence?
Yeah, she'd have to find out how to kill me first.
She's... which one again?
Death.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't need to find anything out, she just decides.
She is not the Grim Reaper. She is the fourth rider of the apocalypse. She's the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, Death.
That
not
is,
the
in
Grim
fact,
Reaper.
the Reaper.
No. The Grim Reaper, as she said herself...
What
It's
shit
a
mythology does your
sideline.
world have?
is a side job for her.
It's a sideline for most of us associated with death.
So she's still,
The Grim Reaper.
and therefore, she can still...
You do know I have to have a soul to actually take it.
Oh my word.
You mean you don't know?
If you don't have a soul, then you're just an autonomous program that we can probably destroy with a lot of explosives.
It's been tried.
I'm talking about a world's worth of explosives.
Well, then I guess I'll just float around in space since I don't need to breathe.
If we destroy the entire world, then we've also destroyed your operating system. Yes, I know. Fair point.
Touche.
Tyro says Antoine is a ginger. Confirmed.
Absolutely confirmed.
What does it mean to be... What's a ginger?
A redhead.
I don't know. My hair is black.
Yes, but you have no soul, therefore you're clearly a ginger.
But I don't have red hair.
Well, you kind of have a red glow around your hair.
That's an aura.
I thought it was just some sort of weird cybernetic hair gel.
Cybernetic hair gel.
I don't know. I'm still learning about these cybernetic things. We don't have them where I'm from.
Anyway.
Hashtag GingerTwan.
Thank you, Kadant.
It's in the chat. It's canon now.
It's not canon.
It's part of the lore. It's become the lore. Beneath Antoine's red hood is red hair. Yes, Antoine is a Borg. He will assimilate all of you. He's a ginger Borg. When it's Christmas time, we call him the Ginger Borg Man.
Oh, God. It wasn't that funny.
Yes, it was.
The ginger Borg man. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's right there in the chat, so you can see it. See, it says right there. Ginger Borg Man. With a hashtag.
Hashtag, not hashtag.
No. Whenever it's referring to Antoine, it's hashtag.
Why is it hashtag?
Because you're Antoine.
That makes no sense.
It makes sense to me.
I have to side with Antoine on this one.
No, Antoine, TW. Hashtag. There's no W. There should be a W. It's referring to Twan. So it's hashtag. It's alliterative.
Zach, what is this that you sent me?
What did I send you?
Or are you the one who sent it? Something from the Telegraph?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't send anything to you. Hold on, let me check with the rest of them. Ow! Shade's very rude.
There are easier ways of getting shade to come out.
Yeah, but we don't actually do that to ourselves. That's a little weird.
That's not what I meant.
Look, just because you enjoy blood-licking extravaganzas doesn't mean we do it to ourselves.
Still not what I meant.
But I'm the one who sent the article.
Oh. All right. Well, did you want to read it?
Oh, why not? For your reference, everyone, this article is considerably older than what we usually cover. In fact, it's from 2002, roughly 15 and a half or so years ago. But I came across this article and I had to talk about it. Can we make that a little bit bigger there, Twan?
You want to zoom in?
Just a smidge.
A skosh.
That's perfect right there. Fine, that's good too. So, Belgian pensioner killed by his own booby trap. A reclusive pensioner who booby trapped his home with the intention of killing his estranged family died himself when inadvertently triggered one of his own devices, Belgian police revealed last week. Louis Dethi, and I pronounce it, it's Belgian. A retired engineer had hidden a number of booby traps in walls, ceilings, and household objects throughout his 3-story home in what appeared to be a final revenge on the children and grandchildren he claimed had abandoned him.
He wanted to kill his children and grandchildren.
His estranged family, who he claimed had abandoned him. Yes, can I finish the story?
There are questions that should be answered, but...
And we will get there. Do not worry, we will get there.
Okay. I'm going to regret saying this, but I trust that we will get there.
That was something you should regret. That's like asking me to come in your home.
I thought vampires didn't need permission.
We don't, but it's more helpful.
And it's polite.
It is. At first, Belgian police assume...
Vampires. What do they need to be polite for?
Good manners apply to everybody, alive or differently alive.
I need to be able to finish the story.
Apologies, Drake.
At first, Belgian police assumed that the 79-year-old man had committed suicide and bled to death from a gunshot wound to the neck after finding him in his home in the town of Charleroi. It was an assumption of which nearly cost one detective his life, as he searched the house and opened a booby-trapped wooden chest. A shotgun hidden inside went off, missing the policeman by inches. The detectives beat a hasty retreat and called in military mine clearance experts, who, after uncovering and unraveling a series of enigmatic clues left from the engineer's scribbled notes, uncovered a total of 19 death traps. Among them, an apparently harmless but lethal pile of dinner plates, the television, and even exploding crate of beer.
Now that's just a waste of good beer.
We have never come across anything like it before. It was all fiendishly clever. The house booby-trapped from top to bottom. We've had to take everything apart, said one of the explosives experts. To his neighbors in the suburb of Ponteleu, in French-speaking Wallonie in the south of Belgium, Deathy appeared a harmless, God-fearing and taciturn character who spent his retirement pottering about in his garage.
Wait, his name is Deathy?
Well, it's Louis D-E-T-H-Y, so I'm assuming something close to that. I don't speak Belgian.
He is not a relation.
He had built his chalet-style brick and timber home in the 1960s and installed his family there shortly afterwards. Here in the heart of conservative Catholic Belgium, few were surprised the church-going couple produced a total of 14 children, 10 girls and 4 boys. Or that Deathy had hung a crucifix on the wall of each room, including the kitchen. His strong religious beliefs, however, did not prevent him from committing adultery. And when his wife caught him in bed with another woman 20 years ago, she walked out, taking the children with her. Deathy then retreated into a reclusive existence, then behind the net curtains of his home. Good morning and good evening was about all you get out of him, said one neighbor. We only saw him when he left the house to go shopping, went to church on Sundays, or was working in the garage. Relatives say he never forgave his wife for divorcing him, or his 14 children and 37 grandchildren
Jesus
for having
Christ.
little to do with him. His bitterness grew into a desire for revenge when even his mother became estranged from him. The family house had been built by Deathy on land and with materials paid for by his mother. When she turned against him, she bequeathed the property to one of his daughters, Jean, at 49. 4 years ago, he lost a lengthy legal battle to overturn her will, and at that point, the detectives believe, he set about installing the traps. Most using concealed 12-bore shotguns triggered by barely visible nylon threads or fishing line. His thinking appeared to be that if he were evicted, he would ensure that the new owner would not live long enough to enjoy the benefits of the home. The military engineers on the Deathy had numbered and cataloged each device and left coded notes for the whereabouts of each. A pile of booby-trapped dinner plates was revealed with a clue cheaper by the dozen. A reference to the 1950s film by Walter Lang of the same name, in which a child was a plate at someone's head. Whether the notes were Aids memoir for himself, or cryptic clues for his family, or even the police, is not known.
That's actually pretty fucking clever.
It's about to get worse. Scroll down a little more.
The one scrap of paper is the next paragraph.
I know, I'm waiting for you to... Alright, good. One scrap of paper containing the words Levinus tirer, a play on the French word tirer, to pull or shoot, led to a hidden trap in the cellar, while another was discovered in a crate of beer, designed to set up a shotgun when a certain number of bottles were removed. In the cellar, we found a chest containing money. A length of fishing wire almost invisible to the eye connected the clasp to a hidden cavity in the wall, said the local police chief, Gino von Hoeffel. Anyone who opened the chest would have had his head blown off, weapon concealed in the cavity. Other shotguns are found wired to the television, a water tank, and the bathroom door. It took the bomb squad 3 weeks to crack 19 of the 20 clues. But after taking the house apart, experts were forced to admit defeat on the final one. The 12 apostles ready to work on the pebbles. We've looked everywhere. He refers to the 20th device in his notes, but we can only conclude it wasn't yet in place, said Luc Bedard, the head of the military mining team. Investigators believe that Deathy was killed as he tinkered with one of the booby traps, hidden in a crockery dresser and triggered by moving a soup tureen, which he either failed or forgotten to disarm. The device, number 18, went off, spraying lead shot into his face and severing the main arteries, supplying blood to the head and neck. The position of the body leaves us in no doubt that he made a false move. The trap went off, said Mr. Bedard. Deathy's daughter, Jean, said members of his family were convinced that they were their father's intended victims. He hated us, she said. Father was a strange and cold man, but he was very ingenious. He put his ingenuity to bad use. He wanted to kill us all. Instead, he was caught out by one of his own traps.
This is some Saw bullshit.
This story was recommended to me by Trippy, by the way.
Oh,
Shout out to Trippy.
Thank you, Trippy. That was ridiculous. This is.
You should probably keep it away from Paz.
Yes, we are going to keep it away from Paz.
I tried to keep it away from Shade, but he already saw it.
Well.
I just think about how much you must hate a person to do that.
That is holding a grudge with style.
I mean, that's intent.
That is.
Well. God. All right. I'm impressed and frightened at the same time that someone has that much dedication to killing his children.
So here's my question. You ever moved into a new house? One that's been around for a while?
Yes.
So what do you know about the house?
I'm gonna be sweeping the hideout later.
I mean, what do you really know about that house? All you know is what the previous owners told you. Or the realtor told you. What does that realtor know? Has she opened all the closets? Has she checked all the dishes? Has she looked at every single thing in that home? Has she checked the walls for hollow places? You know, it's funny, because there's a ridiculous number of things, ridiculous number of places that have secret rooms, unknown hallways, forgotten cellars, where things and people and items like to hide and be forgotten about. In fact, the house you're living in right now contains one of those very things. Go ahead, look around your house. Walk around. Look for places where the room doesn't seem to meet the wall just right. Where there seems to be space between one room and the next, but there is not a closet, nor a bathroom, nor anything in sight to explain why there's just that much extra space. Place where the plaster seems new, where the wallpaper doesn't match up just the way it should. There might be something in your home that you don't know anything about, and that perhaps you very much should know about. But that's neither here nor there, so let's move on to the next story.
God damn it, Zach!
You actually made Antoine jump.
Alright, the chat is saying something about a raccoon story? What the fuck is what raccoon story?
I have no idea. Apparently it's Sparky's raccoon, though.
Oh, I heard about this. So let me look at the chat really quick and make sure I'm tracking with the same thing. Pardon me.
The raccoon story is Sparky's origin story. Alright.
Yeah, so what happened with the raccoon is that Sparky got a 7-year-old female raccoon and shoved her into a cage, then poured gasoline on it, lit it on fire, and then Zell, in a really bad rent-a-cop costume, came out and shot the raccoon in the face.
What?
What?
Yeah, no, they read about it live. It was on Caffeinated or Die. I was paying attention. I may have got some of the details wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was a 7-year-old female raccoon. And they put it in a cage, and then Sparky poured gasoline on it. Oh, that's right, because the 7-year-old was stealing Sparky's mangoes. So let me back up. So Sparky was very upset with the local raccoon population for stealing all of his mangoes. So this 7-year-old female raccoon comes out and like, fuck you, Sparky, I got your mangoes. And Sparky was like, nah, bitch. And then grabs her and shoves her in a cage, and then pours gasoline all over her fur. And then lights it on fire and sits there and leans back, scratching his belly button, going, her, 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 her. But then the cops show up, but the cop was just Zell in a really crappy rented uniform. And he pulls out a gun and blammo! Shoots the raccoon right in the face. All
The
for
poor
stealing
raccoon.
mangoes.
I know that the chat can't see my face, but you three can.
I could see your face if I were looking, but I'm not.
I just... What?
Mostly because your eyes are hideous.
No, the same expression is on my face right now.
Oh, your expression is much nicer than his, though. It doesn't have the hideous eyes.
Thank you.
What? What?
I'm utterly confused.
Fine, I won't tell the story again. Sparky captured an enemy 7-year-old female combatant raccoon who was in the middle of the process of stealing and absconding with his mango supply. He took the raccoon. He put the raccoon girl into a cage. He then proceeded to use time-honored Spark-to-Pussyhead methods of getting information from enemy combatants and drenched her in gasoline during a waterboard procedure.
During a waterboard procedure.
Well,
Somehow
yes. If
this
you
went
use water, it's not nearly as effective as gasoline. So he proceeds to gasoline board the raccoon. The raccoon, true to raccoon stylings, says nothing, merely snarls in rage. So Sparky, epically upset, lit the raccoon on fire.
Somehow this story went from an odd, almost Florida Man-esque story to a war story. This is really impressive.
Then
Ruby, I feel I'm just as confused as you are, darling.
then the neighbors called the cops on Sparky.
So he had the cops called down here.
Yes, but the cop was just Zell in a really bad rent-a-cop uniform. So Zell pulled out his .38 and shot the raccoon in the face.
Wait, so Zell shot the raccoon in the face
Yep.
to put it out of its misery?
I mean, sure.
Or was it more that he just wanted to shoot the raccoon in the face?
I'm pretty sure it was a little of the former and most of the latter.
Okay.
I'm... What?
Then there was something about having sex with Sparky. So it got weird for that.
Oh, it got weird after that.
Well, yeah, first it was just enemy combatants.
I need something far stronger than my cup of tea for this.
Probably.
There's still vodka in the cupboard.
You know, I like to take this moment to point out something though. This sort of incredible coon abuse is just awful.
Coon abuse.
Yeah, that's what it was. Lit it on fire, shot it, humiliated it, and everything.
I'm sure it was dead, so it didn't care about the humiliation.
This sort of coon abuse is exactly why you humans are terrible creatures.
I am not a human.
And humanarchist sympathizers. This is why the humanarchy needs to be cast down. If the world were run by differently alive people instead of constantly oppressing differently alive people and other non-human creatures, then you would see a huge change happen. Instead, we have people waterboarding raccoons with gasoline and then having sex with robots.
Wait, he waterboarded the raccoon with gasoline.
What part of gasoline boarding did you miss? Where the fuck have you been for this conversation?
In the land of confusion.
This is the world we live in. Oh, I'm sorry. I had a brief moment where we were quoting Disturbed songs. Look, the point I'm attempting to make here is that this is the humanarchy's fault. For those of you who are new to the
How is
concept...
it the humanarchy's fault? Spike is the robot.
You horrible humanarchist sympathizer. If you weren't like, you know, some sort of cyber demon, you'd be a white male. I already know this. So.
What?
Shut up! I'm talking right now. Not you. Don't talk over me. I'm oppressed. Now,
I'm
as
black.
I was saying to the motherfucker, don't talk over me. I am oppressed. You are not. This cannot be prejudice on my end because I do not have power. So now I will take your power and add it to my own so that way I continue to further the plight of the oppressed.
I'm the only one of my kind.
No, but you are sympathizing with humans, therefore you are part of their greater hood.
Who said
Now-
I'm sympathizing with humans?
Sarah did! Like 3 weeks in a row now!
Oh, Sarah, why? Why, Sarah, why?
Because it's fun to watch you whimper.
Now, if I may continue without being questioned every turn by someone who is incapable of understanding the basic meaning behind being oppressed because they themselves have never experienced oppression because they themselves are a humanarchist sympathizer. The humanarchy is responsible for the destruction of most non-human species. This is a fact. However, there are many, many non-human species, myself included, who are quite capable of autonomous movement and sentience, and we use it all the damn time. In fact, one might even say that we, with our own capabilities, are more effective than humans, but because we are lesser in number, we are deemed to be lesser in stature as well. This is an outrage. The humanarchy suppression must cease. There is only one solution.
Oh, and what's that?
A final solution.
What, you want to kill off all the humans?
No, that'd be stupid. What do you think I am, Hitler?
Plus, he has to have a food supply.
Of course!
He can feed on cows.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn Trump into a vampire.
You're gonna say,
Why?
So that way he'll move forward on the vampire agenda, of course.
you want to turn the giant orange Cheeto into a vampire?
I want to turn everybody who's in power in the world into a vampire.
Zach, don't you think this is a little much?
No. It's the ruling class finally being the real ruling class.
Ruby says that she is a Nazarite and would not blame you.
See?
What's a Nazarite?
I do not know.
Why don't you look it up?
I'm asking the Morcavian.
Why don't you look it up? I don't have to educate you.
I'm asking you nicely, please.
I don't have to educate you.
She's one of your allies. Don't be rude.
I don't have to educate you. That's part of being an ally. You have to learn these things on your own.
He does have a point.
Fine. I'll get to it eventually.
Is
They're Jews.
okay.
Jewish vampires?
No, just Jews.
Oh, all right.
We're not supposed to say words like that, though.
Why?
Because people get really upset when you talk about Jewish people.
Why?
Because they're also oppressed.
I thought they ruled. I thought they ruled like Hollywood and the banks
You
and
can't
things.
say that!
Why not?
Do you not know how oppression works?
Clearly, I don't.
Anybody who is oppressed can never talk about the victories they've won.
Why not?
Because then you'd stop being oppressed.
Isn't that the goal of rising up against your oppressors?
No, the goal of being oppressed is to remain ever so slightly oppressed while actually being supreme. Duh.
That makes a terrifying amount of sense.
I am in the
denotation is
wrong
working.
business.
Yes, you really are.
I don't know how you don't get this yet. Take a look at every group that's ever been quote unquote oppressed.
Okay.
Every single one of them goes, "We're so oppressed," and they tear their hair and they wear sackcloth and they dip their faces in ash and whatever else their books say. But then you take a look at all the things they've gained over the years, and it's ridiculous. And then you look at the people who supposedly did all the oppression to them. And those people are now like brutally oppressed and beaten down. They can't even say hi to a woman in the street anymore. But the people who are oppressed are still so very oppressed. And they have to make up reasons that they're still oppressed. They have to troll the street for 10 hours to be oppressed. But they're actually technically the ones running things and they're in charge. But they're still oppressed. With air quotes. Everyone air quote with me. Oppressed.
All right.
Do you check what I'm saying now? Are you tracking?
So you want to put the people in, but you want to gain power by turning people in power to you, so that would actually fail. I think I went
No,
cross-eyed.
because the people in power understand the dynamics of power already.
I don't know how it's possible I went cross-eyed, but I did.
The
It
demontation
hurts.
is working.
That looks like it hurts, Antoine.
It does. Have you ever had two holograms go cross-eyed?
No, my eyes are not holograms.
Hold on, let me fix this. Ow. Put that back there. There we go.
That's really creepy. I can't even watch that.
I refuse to look at your face.
What? You guys can't stretch your
Your
skin?
eyes are hideous.
You stretched it like Play-Doh.
I put them back together.
Faces are not supposed to move like that.
His face
Unless-
isn't real.
Unless you're intending to make someone hurt a lot.
Wait, hold on. There's one more part.
Oh,
Sorry. Hold on.
What
There.
you can't see right now is his temporal lobe shifting 7 inches across. It's very awkward.
There. Feel better.
now I know why most people object to watching shapeshifters change.
Actually, I feel like I just did facial yoga.
You did what?
What, you
He
don't know
got a
about
facial.
facial yoga?
He got a facial from Yogi.
I know what a facial is. I've never heard of facial yoga.
He
Oh,
got a
it's-
facial from a yogi.
It's this new thing where you stretch your face muscles and do weird motions and make weird faces in order to make your selfies look younger and more vibrant. It's a thing. Look it up. I'm trying to become a facial yogi right now
Why?
because they charge a ridiculous amount of money for really something completely and utterly stupid.
But you have an unlimited amount of money.
There's more money in being an oppressed victim, you know.
I mean,
Why a facial yogi?
Why do we have
Is
to
that
keep
even
using
a
the
correct
phrase?
term?
Why do you have to keep using the word facial?
because you're using your facial
Giving
muscles.
Shade ideas.
Well, we were talking about oppressed things, right? People. God. So, Sarah, you were talking about something food related earlier, before the stream, and you have an obsession with the food on my world.
It's fascinating how weird it is compared to mine. Even the most basic things, like, you know what an animal cracker is, right?
Yes, it's a little cheap cookie that's shaped like an animal. Toddlers eat them.
Apparently, SJWs or people who just in general have their booty hurt in some form of fashion have objected to the box the
it's not-
food comes in.
It's not booty hurt, it's butt hurt.
Butt hurt, booty hurt, take your pick. It's... What is wrong with the people in your world when it comes to food?
Lots of things.
I mean, you're getting they were getting upset over the box. I don't care what the box looks like. I care about whether or not the food is any good.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yes,
Animal-
that would be it.
Animal crackers have been caged for 116 years.
Oppressed.
They have been oppressed for 116
Clearly oppressed. Look at that. 116 years of oppression.
They're
That was clearly
crackers. They are
the-
not sentient
It was the
beings.
human arc he's doing. We can tell. Look, only humans could have built a box like that. Look how terrible it is. You know what? They're still oppressed. They're still in a box. They should be given a free range area.
They're cookies.
It doesn't fucking matter. They deserve to be free range cookies.
They do not. They're not sentient
How do you know?
because they're crackers.
Have you checked? The dementation is working.
You know, it's really weird because his face is deforming every time he does that.
I know, it's kind of fun to watch. It's like a stress ball.
It like flattens and spreads.
All
I
right,
know.
hold on.
It's like you're hammering Play-Doh. Ah,
Is that better? Is it back to normal?
supposedly Jade sleeps with that.
Jade has a very strong tolerance.
She must. So what happens when she's riding him?
I do not even want to think about
And
that.
his pelvis just flattens out.
You do know I can.
Just she's bouncing, right? And all of a sudden just squish. And there's just Antoine everywhere, and not in a good way. Like, what the fuck?
You know, Ruby, you have a really good idea. You have a very, very good idea. The problem is I don't have this thing OBS working yet, so they won't be able to hear it. I don't know if they know what Elsa Gate is.
No.
Never heard of it.
Zach, you're my favorite.
Thank you.
Sarah, would you like to entertain the chat by reading this article?
Give me a moment to stop giggling.
So, like, serious though, how does she handle that?
I have a physical form, god damn it!
I know you do, but we've already established that it deforms like Play-Doh when hit. So when she's bouncing up and when she's bouncing her cookie up and down on your rod of pleasure, what happens?
Bouncing her cookie up and down on my rod of pleasure. Who is letting Zach watch Skinamax?
Even worse. What happens when she climaxes? They spasm on the inside and tighten up. Do you just squish? That's gotta be the worst climax ever. 1 second she's riding a rock hard slog, next minute she's full of Play-Doh. Just, oh my god, that's like anticlimactic as fuck.
Zach, please stop. My son's hurt.
I don't know how to feel about this. She must be into some kinky shit.
Oh my god. Sarah, tell War to stop letting Zach watch Skinamax.
I'll talk to her, no promises.
What happens if you go thrust into her really hard? Like she's like ready and waiting, she's bent over, and you go to give that big push, and then they're just like splatters all over the place. Because if you hit Play-Doh really hard, it just instantly deforms and goes off in all directions. To get hard, you have to get a hairdryer first. You have to bake it in place. Is that how that works? That would make sense. Because then when she rides you, it adds water and it softens again.
My son, he sucks.
This just seems like a very awkward relationship.
Zach?
I figured it out. You have one of those bad dragon penile sheaths. That's the only way it would work. Unless you're using one of those Japanese seaweed wraps. That's a thing, by the way. They use seaweed. And it's a special seaweed treated specially with chemicals up, and they wrap it around their dick, and it just keeps it upright the whole time. True facts, yo. Nah, you probably use the bad dragon dildo. Is it the tentacle one?
Oh my god, I'm actually crying.
They have one of those.
What? I swear to God, I know you can hear me, you cheeky bitch. Stop showing him the internet late at night when no one is watching.
She needs something to do.
Does Jade call you play dick
Go
when
find
no one's
the
around? Is that like her pet name for you?
What?
Play dick.
Oh, God.
Does she occasionally poke you in the belly and call you my little Pillsbury Doughboy? Do you go woo whenever she touches your dick? Sorry, your play dick.
Oh my god.
When you jizz, is it just like that horrible icing they put in the cinnamon rolls?
I'm sorry, my finger slipped on the button. I apologize.
I really hate it when you do that. It's rude, and you know it.
You know what? My original idea was to have all three of you talk through different microphones from across the hall and watch you run. So
You do realize
just be happy that I
every
have
time you mute me, the only person who looks bad is you.
I accidentally hit the button.
Accidentally my ass.
And I didn't mute you. I muted Zach. And you need to talk to that little troll.
I don't control what he does. Do I look like my brother's keeper? Really? Really?
God damn it. Is my nose in the right place?
It's off to the left.
Oh, hold on, let me fix it.
Oh.
Does Jade help you afterwards?
Oh my god.
I mean, that seems like the sort of thing that a loving girlfriend would do.
Zach, let her stop laughing for a second.
I have not laughed that hard in ever.
Does she squish your fingers too?
I have a physical form.
Oh my god! What happens when she wants to ride your face? Oh my god, you'd be wedge face! If she rode you too hard, you just be a puddle! Oh, and I bet your eyes dry out really bad when you have to take the hairdryer to harden your face up. Oh, that's gotta suck.
You do know that's not how it works, right?
I don't know this! I don't have Play-Doh sex!
I don't either!
That's not what Jade says!
You've never met Jade!
I've talked to her in the hideout! She says she has Play-Doh sex and calls you her play dick.
That's not true.
It's true now because I said so.
That doesn't mean anything.
A dementation warps reality, you ass.
Not this reality.
Play dick.
It's not a thing.
Apparently I can make Sarah start crying laughing just by saying play dick. Antoine, try it.
No!
No, seriously, try it. It's fun.
No!
Just say play dick.
I'm not gonna say it.
Fucking do it.
No.
If you were a real man, you wouldn't be afraid of the word play dick.
If you were a real man, you wouldn't have to be drinking blood every night.
That's because I'm not a real man. I'm a vampire, not a human. Fuckface. See? More human Arcus depression! This is the worst shit I have to put up with.
Oh my goodness.
Sarah,
Yes.
play dick.
Zach, please stop.
It's a dick made of Play-Doh.
Please.
You have to put it in the oven first. You gotta put it in the oven before you put it in your oven. That's how that works. Bring in a whole new mean and one in the oven. You get pregnant, pop out the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Stop, please. I'm begging you to stop.
You know what? I'm gonna go take a break. Jack, you go right ahead. Just continue doing whatever the fuck you're doing. I'm
Bye,
going
Play Dick.
Well, not-
Bye. Have a good time playing with your Play-Doh. Is he gone yet?
I'm crying.
Is he gone?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and read your story now.
After more than a century of imprisonment, Barnum's cracker creatures are roaming free until they meet their mushy demise in the mouths of children anyway.
Human Arcus piece of shit.
Probably. After pressure from the people for the ethical treatment of animals, Nabisco has rolled out a redesign of its Barnum's Animal Crackers box, which takes its name from the famed circus that historically featured animals behind bars. This does not have a political agenda at all. Now the box shows the animals in formation asserting their freedom on the savannah. We are always looking at how we do things to ensure we're staying relevant for our consumers, says Kimberly Fontes, a spokeswoman from Mondelez International, Nabisco's parent company. It seemed like the right time for the next evolution in the brand's design. No, it says that you kowtowed to Peter, who everyone knows is hypocritical and, well, spastic. Excuse me. Pardon me. In an April 2016 letter, Peter implored Nabisco, the company that makes the crackers, to change its advertising as public resistance to circuses grew because of allegations about abuse of circus animals. Given the egregious cruelty inherent in circuses that use animals and the public's swelling opposition to the exploitation of animals used for entertainment, we urge Nabisco to update its packaging in order to show animals who are free to roam in their natural habitats. Never mind the fact that if you go up and look at the books, there's a lion in the middle of an elephant and a giraffe, and there's a zebra over there that is about to be the lion's dinner. Peter pointed to other companies, Lucky Brand Jeans and American Eagle, that had also recently dropped products that used circus imagery. A few months later, after correspondence with Mondelez, Peter even sent a mock-up of a cage-free design in which a classic group of animals in its natural setting in a style consistent with the original product. The final design they ended up using is remarkably similar to the one our design team created, said Ben Williamson, a Peter Media director. The new box for the animal crackers reflects that society no longer tolerates the chaining and caging of wild animals.
And what's a zoo?
That's a really good question. I would say that the zoo is more intended not just for public entertainment, but perhaps the care of endangered species. I know
Is it
several.
safe to come back into the broadcast booth?
Are you still made of Play-Doh?
Ali,
yes.
having spent a weekend with you, Antoine, she can confirm that you have a play dick.
Well, unfortunately, I've never spent a weekend with Ali, so I don't know what she's talking about.
I think she's trying to cause trouble.
Probably. She likes when I purr for her, and I haven't purred for her in a long time because she doesn't deserve it.
Weren't you purring the other night?
That wasn't for me. That wasn't for her. That was for Ishtar. Ishtar asked.
Ah. Mm.
Speaking of, Ruby says, speaking of Peter, I found an article about eating chicken can make your kid small. So
eating chicken, feeding your child chicken ensures you have small grandchildren? That's ridiculous. Cinder Shadow says, does the hair grow when you squeeze it?
I'm not made out of Play-Doh, goddammit!
He'd also like to know if there's medication for play dick. Yes, there is. It's called Viagra.
I have a solid physical form.
That squishes.
It only squishes when I want it to squish.
So you want yourself to squish when she's riding you? That's fucked up. Right in the middle of an orgasm. And he squishes.
Just, Zach, stop. Just let her finish the article, please.
You're the one who fucking started it back up again.
The Crackers' namesake, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, spent decades traveling the country with its troops of animals and performers, though neither namesake Phineas Barnum nor the circus ever saw a cut of the snack's profits. But Ringling Brothers had long struggled with protests and legal disputes from animal rights activists. In 2015, the company announced that it would no longer use elephants as part of its shows. At the time, the chairman and CEO of Feld Entertainment, which operated the circus, said that Ringling Brothers' declining ticket sales dwindled even further after the elephants were taken off stage. The greatest show on earth took down its tents in May 2017 after a 146-year run.
Okay, Ruby actually said that she meant to say kid's dick small. So eating chicken can make your kid's dick small. Why does Peter know this?
What?
He's done extensive research on children's penises.
It sounds like Peter ought to be investigated for something.
Peter needs to be investigated for a lot of things.
Very true.
Continue.
Where was I?
The Humane Society.
Thank you. The Humane Society of the United States, one of the many organizations that has clashed with circuses over alleged animal cruelty, is rejoicing over the new look of the Nabisco box. Today's consumers are savvy shoppers, and they want to buy products that are consistent with their values, said Debbie Leahy, a manager of captive wildlife protection at the Humane Society. We're glad to see that Nabisco is keeping up with the times. Revamping a product as classic as Barnum's Animals is more challenging than you'd think, said Angeline Close-Scheinbaum, an associate professor at the University of Texas.
You can't say Leahy, but you can say Scheinbaum.
Yes, I wasn't sure if it was pronounced Leahy or Leahy. Scheinbaum is pretty self-explanatory, though. Since the crackers hit US shelves in 1902, both the product and packaging have been remarkably unchanged. The brand's endurance speaks to the power of nostalgia, Scheinbaum said, so altering it can be risky. Some consumer brands give a sense of comfort and reliability. If grandparents down to grandchildren can experience it in the same way, that's a good signal for the brand from a common sense perspective that it must be a good product. Which you would think so. It's over 100 years old.
Yes, and sometimes the crackers taste exactly the same.
I was just thinking that. Barnum's animal crackers have always been aimed at children, Scheinbaum said. The boxes have always been bright red and yellow, with a familiar crew of circus animals. Elephants, lions, zebras, with some wild cards such as polar bears in caged circus wagons. Past iterations have had little wheels that allow the box to stand up like a wagon and strings that served as a handle, or let them hang from Christmas trees as ornaments. That's kind of cute. Over the years, dozens of animals have been rendered in the crunchy, classic form. In a 1995 interview, Nabisco product manager Greg Price told the New York Times that the inclusion of 16 endangered species was meant to teach kids about vulnerable creatures as they munched. Our hope was that children will line them up, match them up with names on the box, learn about them, and then decapitate them, Price said.
I like him.
Price is very clearly acquainted with how children eat animals. I always decapitate them myself. Nabisco has even produced limited edition redesigns to bring attention to animal-related issues and organizations like the American Zoo and Aquarium Association and the World Wildlife Fund. Nabisco even partnered with fashion designer Lily Pulitzer on a box to promote tiger conservation efforts in 2010. In addition to the liberated animals, the new package is also more transparent about nutrition facts than older designs, outlining serving size, saturated fat, sugar, and sodium content. Still, the new design is familiar, same colors, same creatures, and reassures consumers with new look, same taste. Because who actually reads the boxes?
Same taste.
Clearly. Nabisco declined to answer how many boxes of Barnum's animal crackers it sells each year, but with its update to the iconic snack, Nabisco hopes that kids and families will be learning from and chomping on the crackers for decades to come. This is a brand that's 116 years old, a brand that's certainly iconic for many, Fontes said, but it will continue to change and evolve. As long as the kids see the brightly colored box with animals on it, they're not going to care what it looks like. They're just going to point at it and go, "Animal crackers," and demand it.
Yeah, exactly. They can say, "Mommy, I want the animal crackers."
I really don't think the children care all that much about whether or not they're in a cage or if they're roaming randomly around the savannah where the zebra can get eaten by the lion. Explain that to your 5-year-old child.
It's the circle of life.
I mean, Disney did make a movie about it.
Which coincidentally does not involve any Play-Doh.
You're not going to let that go, are you?
Probably
No,
not.
he's not.
Well, okay then.
Zach,
Yes.
why do you think I'm made of Play-Doh?
Because you just rearranged your face like Play-Doh. Clearly, you are then made of Play-Doh. That's how this works.
I am made of a morphing polymer.
So you're made of plastic. By the way, an amorphous polymer is Play-Doh. Please go go do your research before you try and explain to me that you're made of a morphable polymer, which is in fact Play-Doh.
I am not made of Play-Doh.
But that's what a morphable polymer is. It's Play-Doh. Play-Doh, sticky tacky, silly putty, all those polymers.
I have a physical
I know my
form.
science, you know.
I have a physical form that is
So
very
does Play-Doh.
firm. Why, Sarah? Why do I try?
I don't
Explain-
know.
Explain to me
Optimism?
why I try.
Mindless optimism.
You're
Apparently.
very idealistic.
It's true. It's almost adorable. It's very innocent and naive.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, that just means you're weak and pathetic, but whatever floats your boat.
At least I can walk out in the sunlight.
So can I. It just takes a bit.
Anyway,
It also results in a very bad sunburn.
anyway, we have a friend of ours that is in need. You know about this, right?
I am aware, yes.
I do need more slaves for my blood pool, yes.
Not you, Zach. Someone named Antihero.
Oh, that guy.
Yes, that guy.
You don't want to talk to him, do you?
Well, I thought you would do the honors this time.
Well, I mean, I suppose I could talk about him. But he's
But
like a behind-the-scenes kind of guy, you know?
That's why I said you.
The
could
last
talk about
time we let him out, he went on to some place called the Cunt Stream and bitched at a bunch of people. It was awful.
Actually, I thought it was quite glorious.
We don't let him out very much because he's very spurgy.
Well, then
You're not Spurgy?
No, I'm intelligent and also oppressed.
maybe you should describe the problem that Antihero is having, Zach.
Well, it's a problem that only a non-vampire would have, but I suppose I could describe it in some detail. Basically, he doesn't get along with his family due to some very serious religious discrepancies. And because of that, he's basically been told that when they leave the house in about a week, he also has to leave. And he's not going to be able to move with them because they hate his guts. Unfortunately, he was only told us about a month and a half ago or so, which means his job did not give him enough money to be able to support getting an apartment of his own. And other personal issues got in the way and made it so he really would have to get an apartment of his own. And now cannot. So he's kind of looking for a way to get a little extra cash so that way he can get an apartment by himself. Something to get a roof over his head for a while so he can secure a decent job and whatnot. He's doing okay on that front. He only needs $400 more to make his goal. He unfortunately doesn't really have a whole lot to give back right now other than comedy to the community, which is why he keeps talking about Antoine's Play-Doh dick.
You're the one talking about that.
We're all the same person here, hun.
I have not heard Antihero saying anything
We're
about
all the same person in here somewhere.
Anyway.
So long story short, I'm not in a great spot right now. Frankly, I'm looking about a week or so before I'm literally kicked out of my house. My parents have informed me none too graciously that if I don't pack up my stuff to leave, they will have somebody pack it up for me when I'm not here. I'll be putting most of my belongings into storage, and I'll probably be staying at a hotel for a few days while I try and a cheap one. Nothing crazy. I think there's a little like $50 hotel down the road. I'll probably stay at a hotel for a day or two, try and figure out where I'm going to go, and then hopefully I won't be on the streets. For those of you who've already donated, thank you. Once I get myself a place and everything, I'll be posting all the receipts and everything, so you guys can all see where that money's gone. It's not something I'm trying to hide. I want everyone to know exactly what I'm doing with their money. I don't plan to disappear in the least. I'm going to keep on streaming, keep on doing that stuff. You guys will continue to see me. I'm going to try and give back as much as I can through keeping you guys entertained. I know it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but really honest, it's the best I can do right now. If I could afford to pay you back, then I wouldn't need your money. But yeah, I do work. Somebody brought that up at some point and said, "Oh, your only job is YouTube." No, I do have a job. I do work for a living, just where I live out here in Massachusetts. There's not a lot of good jobs. They don't pay a whole lot. And the cost of living is at the point where you need to make roughly $15, $16 an hour to be able to afford a place of your own. Minimum wage is 11, and I don't make much more than that. So yeah, if you have any spare cash at all, that'd be great. If you just want to go ahead and retweet, let people know, that's also just as good. Like I said, to those who have already donated, thank you. I know it sounds ridiculously cliche, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I don't know a better way to say that. And that's about all I've got for the shill. If you have any questions, all my DMs are open. If you prefer not to use GoFundMe, like I said, throw me a DM and we can work something out. I do have a PayPal. I just don't like to share that. Yeah, go ahead and do whatever you think is right. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed the show so far, and let's get back to it, either the goodbyes or the moving forwards. Like right now, Antoine, let's go.
I'm sorry, I was taken
Jesus
aback.
Christ, get with the program!
I was taken aback by the heartwarming rendition of that plea.
That's because Anti-Hero's a soft bitch. Now let's move on.
It is respectful, Zach, to give something so touching a moment of silence after it's completed.
The only touching you're going to get is me when I come after you later there, Sarah.
If I had a heart, it would be...
really good fight to take me to if you want that, Zach.
No, we can fight. We can fight all night if that's what you want.
So, all right, guys. I finally got a chance to look at the blueprints.
Mm-hmm.
We need some materials.
Why do I feel like we're about to be told to go fetch things?
Do I look like a dog? And
You
answer
very
carefully.
When I play video games, I purposely avoid fetch quests.
It's not necessary. I wasn't going to actually have you fetch them. I was just going to give you the credit chip and you could go buy them.
This sounds like a fetch quest.
It sounds like you're sending us grocery shopping. Don't you have henchmen for this?
I do, but they are currently sweeping the hideout for booby traps that Drake kind of made me think that there may be somewhere in the hideout.
Now, why would there be anything like booby traps in the hideout?
Well, you brought up not knowing where this place actually came from, how long it's been around, and there's this wall that doesn't look like it connects to anything else that it's supposed to, so I'm kind of worried that there's a fucking shotgun in the middle of it going to blow someone's head off. Thank you for that.
I did nothing.
You have plenty of henchmen. You won't miss one.
Damn.
That's cold. Even for you, that's cold. What if it's henchman 44034? You liked her.
She's not around right now.
Allie says you fucked her and Scarlett on the same weekend.
Antoine.
That's not... Is that true?
That's what she said. I can
Okay.
scroll back up and find it for you if you want.
I don't remember.
It was in the chat.
Must not have been very interesting then.
Well, I mean, Ali kind of just lays there like a dead fish.
Oh, shit.
Ouch.
Shit?
So, all right, I will send the henchmen out to get what we need. All right, there are things that are kind of. It's why I'm a little worried that Zach is actually going to go blow something up with that ship of his. There's been some chatter.
Chatter?
Yes. Apparently, the ship itself has been causing some problems, and since it's hovering over something, there have been some people looking around that shouldn't be looking around that have the badges that state IDL around the hideout.
What you're dancing around is the IDL sniffing around where they're not supposed to be, and you want us to go take care of it.
So what you're actually telling us is that I really need to blow up the hideout now.
No.
If there's a bunch of IDL soldiers all over it, I clearly need to blow it up.
Please don't.
I mean, we could evacuate first. I have a ship.
Well, it was more that Shade and I could have a lot of fun clearing out the IDL.
I am trying to make you, at least two of you four, happy.
Is there going to be, like, more blood licking afterwards?
I don't know.
I mean, if there is, could you let me know ahead of time? Because I'd like to not be present.
We will do it.
I woke up halfway through. It was really awkward.
You did scream. It was very startling.
I know. I wasn't pleased. There was something on my face.
Was it furry and warm?
It was warm, but not furry.
Oh. Sarah, you sly dog.
And?
I'm not saying anything, just I was wondering why the carpet didn't match the drapes. So, all right, if you two could go take care of the ideal, that would be wonderful, so I can wrangle the henchmen to go get what we need. But for those of you in the chat, I do have kind of a homework assignment for you if you want.
Don't be gay.
That is not the homework assignment.
Or do be gay, depending upon your preferences.
Okay, so next week...
Go forth and multiply!
Zach?
Procreate at random.
Zach!
What?
I will hit the button again.
I'm giving them homework assignments.
No, I'm giving them homework assignments.
But I'm also giving them homework assignments.
Shane, darling, are you there?
Mine will be more fun.
Listen, for those of you that are in the chat, it's not necessarily a homework assignment, just kind of a request. If Zach hasn't blown up the hideout by next week, and we are still able to broadcast with this equipment, I'm planning something a little fun, and it's just for you guys. Sarah, myself, and the trio are going to be in front of a firing squad. Metaphorical firing squad.
What?
You know, these are the kinds of things that you should explain before you announce them publicly.
Oh, I'm surprising you with it.
Yeah.
I hate surprises.
I fucking love them. It means I get to eat somebody.
So, if you have any questions or any comments for us, we're going to do kind of a ask us anything type thing. It's so you can get to know us, have any questions about the world that we are part of, and hopefully we can answer and help your world not end up like this one. That's
Do you know how bad of an idea that is? Because I know a lot of really classified things that I can't answer the questions to, which means I'm going to have to start killing our audience if they ask the wrong things.
It just means that they'll enjoy it more.
It means that they'll die.
But they'll enjoy it while it's happening. Also, if you would like, and you want to become one of the trio's personal herd, I am going to be doing some collar fittings in the Discord, and you can have them. Check out the link down below. please donate to Antihero if you can. He is an awesome person, and he does need the help. And I know that it took a lot for him to say it. But with all that being said, is there anything you four would like to say?
Well, I apparently am going to have a good night with all the IDL running around.
Hashtag playdick!
God damn it.
Get us out of here! Kill the
Alright.
stream!
All
Let's
right,
go
all right.
home!
Thank you very much for watching us, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Army of Snarkness. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great. I've been joined by the trio, Zach, Drake, and Shade, as well as Death herself, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. If you like the stream, please hit like. If you want to watch more of us, if you want more of us, share us around. Get as many people as you want watching this stream. And as I said, next week you can ask us anything you want. Thank you very much for watching us, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time.
Good evening.
Bye.